You're looking at the magnificent Kahr PM9 subcompact 9mm pistol. As an experiment, I will make a gun review. This one, I may make more in the future, then again I may not. One depends on my schedule. I'm extremely busy between my two professions that I have, and then also the knife reviews are keeping me extremely busy, responding to the feedback, answering questions, and also just making quality videos. So it's tough for me to expand out. I will try it with the PM9 and we'll just see how it goes from there. But I can't really promise that I'll do a lot of gun reviews. It just depends. Also, it depends on you guys. If the comments on this video are good and productive, then rock on. We'll continue on. But if they kind of degenerate into, I don't know, arguments about caliber and insults and stuff, I'll probably just nuke the video, delete it, and it'll be done. We'll see. So we'll see how it goes. So let's get going. There's a lot to talk about. First and foremost, I'm just going to put a plug in. If you live in the United States of America, hopefully you live in a state where carrying this type of gun is legal, and you are a licensed concealed carry permit holder, and or maybe you're a federal officer, a police officer, and all my comments will pertain to you. If you are a civilian carrying, I highly recommend you belong to the NRA. It's the only organization that can adequately and effectively fight for your right to keep and carry guns like this to protect yourself against bad guys. And there's lots of bad guys out there. There's a lot of philosophy involved with that. I might make a video about it later in the future if there's an interest. But just suffice it to say, fight for your rights by joining the NRA. Let's get talked about the specifics of this gun. First and foremost, let me tell you, I'm a very big SIG and Glock pistol fan. I have tons and tons of experience with those weapons. I have lots of experience with all guns, actually, both as a federal officer and as a military member, and in my own civilian tactical experience, dating way back. I'm not even going to give you a date, but trust me, I've done a lot of shooting. Now, that doesn't mean I'm the end-all expert in guns. There's always people that know more about it than you, that are always better than you. I totally acknowledge that. However, I think I have enough experience to have some opinions you might be interested in. Might help you in your own decision-making process of which gun to carry. So, that being said, the Kahr PM9 is an excellent choice for a carry weapon. However, I do find it's polarizing, and by that I mean some people really do not like the PM9 after they shoot it. It is a subcompact 9mm. Therefore, it will recoil substantially when you shoot it. It's not a super comfortable gun to shoot. I don't mind it at all, but then again, I've shot a lot, so it's no big deal for me. Some women don't like it. Maybe they would be better served by a compact revolver. But the PM9, for my money and for the weight, most importantly the weight, is an outstanding gun. Now, I'm talking about the PM9 version here. There is a PM40 version. That's the polymer 40 caliber. Same version as this by Kahr, and that's excellent as well. But my goals, my objectives when I carry a piece is to have maximum firepower in the absolute most compact package in a full-size caliber, and for me that means a PM9. The PM9 versus the PM40 carries an extra round in the clip. Magazine, better said. By the way, this gun is empty. So the PM40 carries one less round. The 40 caliber cartridge is an excellent cartridge. I love it. I have nothing but good to say about it. It is a little bit snappier in recoil, especially in a subcompact pistol like this. However, trust me, I can do my part with this 9mm and make my shots connect. Therefore, I think a 9 is sufficient, especially with the loadings that are offered in a 9mm nowadays. They're outstanding. Let's talk about specifics. There's so much to cover, not a lot of time. First off, the weight. It's very light, and there is where the PM9 in one of the categories it excels. 16 ounces, and that's with an empty 6-round magazine. Now, as I carry it with me, and that's including an extra magazine, the extended plate version, my whole carry weight is 23 ounces. My carry load by choice is 115 grain aluminum case blazer round standard pressure. And the reason why is they're very light. That aluminum case versus the brass casing is about a 2-ounce difference. Maybe an ounce and a half. Again, my design objectives are to make it as light and as comfortable as possible. And this is a gun that I will carry on my person day in, day out. In fact, I'm always armed. either in my profession or in civilian life. I'll always have generally a gun of this sort and also a tactical blade. And I highly recommend you do the same thing. Being armed gives you options. If you're unarmed, you have no options, generally speaking. Fight with your fingernails and your fists. Good luck with that. The slide on this PM9 is also very slim. It's very more slender than the Glock 26, of which Kahr makes its comparisons to, and they're right. And slender is better. Another very comfortable carry gun is the PPK. I won't talk about that, but it's even slimmer than this, more or less. The safety on the PPK is a little bit thicker. So lightweight, slim, also has a very compact form factor. Overall length and height wise, it's very compact. And I do prefer the PM9 over the CW version of the Kahr, which is a more affordable version of this gun in polymer frame, but it's bigger. The PM9 is my absolute favorite. Not a cheap gun. It's expensive, generally over $500, depending where you get it. I won't go on the cost. You can beat it or do worse, I'm sure. The first thing you might notice about my PM9, at least the one I have now, is I have decal grips on it. These are very ultra thin, self-adhesive rubber grips that go on the side of the panels. And they really make it comfortable. And they give you a lot better purchase on an otherwise slick grip. There is some stippling on the very back arch and on the front, which is nice. I don't mind that. That's good. By the way, if I go over on this, I'll do a part 2. The magazine release on the PM9 is adequate. It's right here where I always prefer my magazine releases, and that is to the rear on the left-hand side of the trigger guard. Again, I'm right-handed though, so for you, if you're left-handed, you're kind of hosed, and I do not think it's reversible. A critique and a hit on the PM9 and probably all the Kahr models, I'm just going to stick to the PM9, is the slide release. As it came, it had some very sharp edges on it, so what I did is I extracted it and I milled it myself using a file and also some 400 grit sandpaper. And what I did is I radiused all the corners on that edge so it's very comfortable. And so there's not a corner on that slide release lever that will dig into your thumb. And that was not the case when I first got it. It was very sharp and could rip the skin off. How about the sights? I do not have the night sight version. I recommend if you do buy this gun, you get the night sight version. It's cheaper and easier than if you were to retrofit it. That being said, I don't feel undergunned not having the night sights, and in my experience they do grow dimmer over time, those tritium night sights. The sight picture on the Kahr is very nice. I like it. Very SIG-like, very Glock-like, and they took a lot of their design influences from Glock, if you ask me. Barrel length is 3 inches. It's not a super long barrel, and nor do I want it to be. Again, this is a subcompact gun, and I want it to remain as that. The trigger is something we can discuss on this, and it's kind of an unusual trigger. It is a double action only trigger, and it does take some practice to get good with a Kahr. It has a long take up, and in my experience when I fire the Kahr, I do take up like that, and right prior to break is where your accuracy will come. So if you just stage it like that, then break it as such, and this takes practice, you can shoot very accurately with a Kahr. And speaking of accurately, this is a sampling of my firing of that Kahr you just saw. This is at 15 yards and shooting the round you just saw, the blazer round. This is in 22-degree conditions, and I just happen to have a target. So I think that was from standing too, so not too bad, especially from a subcompact pistol. About as good as can be expected. The reliability is excellent. You will have a break-in period with a PM9, probably about 200 rounds, just like the manual says, and I did have a hiccup, but after that it's been absolutely reliable. The feel is good. The handle is a little bit short, but it's not bad. And it rides very well. This is a gun that when you carry it, you forget you have it on your person. And that makes an outstanding carry gun. So it's accurate, it's reliable, it's comfortable, and comfortable is huge when you're talking about a subcompact backup weapon. Maybe your primary weapon if you're a concealed carry permit holder in the United States of America. That's a Kahr PM9. I absolutely love it. It's reliable, it's accurate, it's comfortable, it seems to be very well made, and this one has been very durable for me. It is expensive, but how much is your life worth? I highly recommend it. It's my top choice actually for a concealed carry 9mm pistol.